The city of Kareth 9 never felt alive to humans. It was too loud, too cold, too chuju, too alien. Huge metal towers touched the dark sky. Flying ships moved above like silent predators. Neon signs blinked in strange languages that no human child was ever meant to read. And on the ground, life was worse. Eli Carter walked alone through the wet streets. He was just 17, thin, tired. His clothes were old and patched many times. In his small bag, he carried broken metal parts he collected from the streets. Scraps others threw away. That was how he survived. People in this city did not respect humans. They ignored them or laughed at them. Some called Eli Scrap Rat. Some called him worse. But Eli never replied. He just kept walking. That day, rain started falling harder. The streets became empty faster. Even the aliens moved away under their shields and ships. The city lights reflected on the wet ground like broken stars. Eli should have gone home, but then he saw something in a dark corner near an old broken wall. Someone was sitting, a figure wrapped in dirty rags. At first, Eli thought it was just another poor alien. The city had many of them, forgotten ones, broken ones. But something made him stop. The figure did not move like a normal beggar. It was too still, too quiet. Eli slowly walked closer. A girl was sitting there. Her skin was pale with a strange silver tone. Her hair was long, messy and covered most of her face. She was shaking slightly from the cold rain. She looked weak, hungry, lost. But then she lifted her head just a little. Her eyes were visible, golden, bright, alive. Eli froze for a second. Those eyes did not look like a beggar's eyes. They looked ancient, like they had seen too much. The girl looked at him but said nothing. Eli hesitated. He only had one small food pack left. It was his dinner. Warm bread and simple synthetic fruit. If he gave it away, he would sleep hungry. But something inside him did not let him walk away. Slowly, he stepped forward and placed the food near her. "You should eat," he said softly. The girl did not answer, but her hand moved slightly, like she wanted to reach it, but was too weak. Behind them, laughter suddenly broke the silence. A group of alien traders stood nearby under a glowing sign. They were watching. One of them pointed and laughed loudly. "Look at the human," he shouted, "feeding trash again." The others laughed too. One threw a small, rotten piece of fruit toward Eli. It hit the ground near his feet, but Eli did not move. He did not look at them. His eyes stayed on the girl. Slowly, the girl finally spoke. Her voice was very soft, almost a whisper. "You should not be here, human." Eli frowned slightly. "Why?" The girl's golden eyes flickered for a moment, and then she said something that made the air feel heavier. "They are coming for me, far above the city." A deep, mechanical sound echoed. Ships began to shift in the sky. Searchlights turned on, and in that moment, Eli Carter had no idea that his simple act of kindness had already changed the fate of the entire galaxy. The rain stopped, but the silence stayed heavy over Kareth 9. Eli Carter stood still in the alley, staring at the girl. The food he gave was gone. Not eaten, but taken. Like she needed it more than survival itself. The girl slowly stood up from the wet ground. Her movements were weak, but not random. Controlled. Careful. Like she was forcing her body to stay broken. Eli noticed something strange. Her hands were shaking, but her eyes were not. Those golden eyes stayed sharp, watching everything, even the sky, even the distant ships that now hovered lower than before. Something was wrong, very wrong. Eli took a small step back. "Who are coming for you?" he asked.
They're coming!
The girl did not answer at first. Instead, she looked at his wrist. Then she whispered, "Again, you should not have helped me." Before Eli could speak, a deep sound echoed across the city. Not thunder, not wind. It was mechanical, huge. The sky above Kareth 9 split open as black Imperial ships entered orbit. Their lights scanned the city like hunting eyes. People on the streets stopped. Even the alien traders went silent. One word spread through the air systems of the city. Lockdown initiated. Eli's heart started beating faster. The girl closed her eyes for a second. Then she said something worse. "They found me." Eli turned toward her quickly. "Who are you?" The girl slowly pulled her hood down completely, and in that moment, everything changed. Her face was no longer just dirty or tired. It was noble. Sharp features, calm expression, and a strange glowing mark on her neck that looked like broken starlight. The air around her felt different now, heavier, like space itself was listening. The girl finally spoke her name. Lyra. The sound of it made nearby glass vibrate. Even the city scanners flickered for a moment. Eli stepped back again. "That's just a name," he said. Lyra looked at him. "No," she replied softly. "It is the name the Empire erased." A sudden, holographic broadcast lit up the sky above the city. Emergency signal. All ships paused. All movement stopped. A robotic voice echoed everywhere. Royal signature detected. Subject, Lyra of the Solaris bloodline. Status, missing. Confirmed. Alive. The city exploded into chaos instantly. Sirens screamed. Ships turned in the sky, and far away, massive hunter vessels began to descend. Eli's hands tightened. "What did you do?" he asked. Lyra looked at him, not afraid, only sad. "I did not do anything," she said. "I was already dead in their story."
What is that?
She stepped closer to him, and then she did something unexpected. She touched his wrist again. The same place as before. A golden light flashed under his skin. Stronger this time. Eli gasped and pulled back. "What is that?" Lyra's voice lowered. "The throne reacted to you." Eli's eyes widened. "The what?" Before she could answer, explosions echoed in the distance. The hunters had arrived, and one thing became clear in that moment. They were not coming for Lyra alone anymore. They were coming for the human who fed a queen. The city of Kareth 9 was no longer just a place. It had become a battlefield waiting to wake up. Eli Carter stood inside the ruined alley with Lyra beside him. The sky above was full of moving shadows, huge Imperial ships descending slowly like silent gods. Searchlights scanned every street. Sirens screamed without stopping. The lockdown was no longer a warning, it was a hunt. Eli's hand was still burning, where Lyra touched him before. A faint golden mark was visible under his skin, like light trapped inside flesh. He kept staring at it. "What is happening to me?" he asked. Lyra looked at him, her expression serious now. "No time to explain," she said softly. "They are already here." The ground shook. A massive shadow passed over them. Then another. Hunter drones dropped into the streets, scanning buildings. Alien soldiers in black armor followed them. Their weapons glowed blue, locking onto targets. The city was collapsing into fear. People ran in every direction, but Eli did not move. He looked at Lyra. "You said you were a queen," he said. "Why does everyone want you dead?" Lyra's eyes darkened slightly. "Because I was not supposed to survive," she answered. "The Empire wrote my death into history." Another explosion shook the street nearby. A building collapsed in the distance. Dust filled the air. Lyra grabbed Eli's arm. "Come with me." They ran, through broken streets, through burning markets, through falling signs and shattered glass. Behind them, the hunters followed without mercy. Eli had never run like this in his life. But something strange was happening. Every time he was close to falling, the mark on his wrist glowed and his body moved faster, like something inside him was answering fear with strength. They reached an old underground tunnel entrance. Lyra stopped. "This way," she said. They entered. Inside, everything changed. The tunnel walls were not old stone. They were carved metal, ancient symbols glowing faintly in the dark. The deeper they went, the stronger the light became. Eli felt it in his chest, a pressure, a calling. "What is this place?" he asked. Lyra answered. Quietly, the forgotten path, the road to the throne chamber. They reached a massive door. It was not like any normal door. It was alive, metal and light moving together like breathing. Symbols floated around it. Eli stepped back slightly. "I can't open that," he said. Lyra looked at him. "You don't need to." She turned to him fully. "The throne does not open for blood alone. It opens for choice." Eli frowned. What choice? Before she could answer, heavy footsteps echoed behind them. The hunters had entered the tunnel. Lights flashed, weapons raised. No escape left. Lyra placed her hand on the glowing door. Then she looked at Eli. "Stay or run," she said. "Both choices change everything." Eli looked at the approaching soldiers, then at the glowing mark on his wrist, then at Lyra. And for the first time in his life, he did not choose survival. He stepped forward. "I'm not leaving you," he said. The moment those words left his mouth, the entire tunnel went silent. The door reacted. Golden light exploded outward. The symbols aligned, and the voice of something ancient echoed through the chamber. Bond accepted. The door opened slowly. Inside was not a room. It was a throne of light waiting for someone who should never have existed. Behind them, the hunters froze, because now they understood one thing. The human boy was no longer just a witness. He was part of the awakening.